All right, we're good.
Hello, everyone. Excited to be here for the fifth of four sessions for the Career Exploration Camp presented by Body Armor. This is the award ceremony. Really excited to be here today. Really proud of everyone and all the effort that they put in the last couple of weeks. Obviously, really proud of our team for putting on what I think is a great program. And then for those of you that are in the Charlotte area, actually we'll be seeing you in person if you decided to want to join us as well. So I'm excited to say hello to you virtually and then see you in person tomorrow. I think Jackson, you're coming. A couple other folks here on the line are going to be here as well. So today's presentation, today's discussion is really focused around celebrating you all and also talking to you about your experiences. So I've got a short presentation, but I will warn you, it is not only encouraging you to be interactive, it requires you to be interactive. So, and not just emojis, but also, if possible, sharing your thoughts in person, right? So I think you guys have learned over the course of the program that we can bring you up to the main stage. So would love for individuals to raise their hand if they want to come up and say something as you go through the presentation. And if you don't want to do that, then you could drop something in the Q&A portion, drop in something you'd like to say in the Q&A, and then we can pull you up. But the point being is, this is not a good session if it's just you all listening to me, because it's not about me, it's not about Lana, it's about you all. That's who we're serving. So I'm going to get in a couple slides here, and then we're going to hopefully get some involvement from you all. We're going to announce the winners of our scholarship. Lana was very impressed by how much work our students did. Borderline surprised, Lana?
Oh yeah, it was pretty impressive. Like we really challenged you guys. And so when I went in and like had to verify all of the points, I was like, wow, these kids like they went off. So good job for all of you guys.
Yeah, you guys exceeded our expectations as far as your level of enthusiasm and effort in terms of like how much work you want to do, which is really exciting as well. So I'm going to jump in. Lana, are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Cool. So first things first, if you learned anything from us over the last couple of weeks, we start by saying thanks. So thank you to you all for your effort, for all the challenges that you did, for reading our emails, for coming out to the camp itself, for being such great participants with the professionals. We get a lot of great feedback from the professionals. Like they really enjoyed talking to you guys. You were prepared. You had good questions. You were engaged. So thank you to you. Thank you to all of our sponsors and donors. Really, really appreciative of all the efforts that you guys put in, and very, very proud of you. And more to come on that. And I guess we applaud you as well. So we just don't know how these things are going to go. I'll be honest that we're all kind of working through a virtual program and scaling it nationwide, inviting students from all over the place. And I think you all exceeded our expectations in terms of your ability to utilize AirMe to take advantage of the opportunity. And once again, knock out those challenges. So kudos to you. All right, this is the part where we want you all involved, and we're looking for you to spill it. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and hopefully we can get some folks to come up and share with us, what did you learn from this program? We'll start there. Anyone want to come up and share with us a bit of what they learned? Looks like Nicole. I'm going to bring Nicole up. Nicole has been very interactive throughout the session. Hey, Nicole.
Hello.
How you doing?
So good. How are you?
Doing well. Thanks for coming. Thanks again for always jumping in. I think you were like asking questions. I think almost every all team meeting.
Yeah. I mean, this was great for us to learn exactly what the professionals do in a day to day. So we knew if it was for us, and it opened my eyes a lot to exactly how many careers are in the world of sports and how much you can actually do. So I just want to thank you guys for organizing this for us.
Thanks, Nicole. Lana does all the work, so we should thank Lana. Nicole, was there a particular career path that you just didn't know about or you found was really interesting that you weren't aware of before?
Yeah, the data analytics one was really cool.
Oh, bummer.
It's pretty awesome.
Lost connection. You're back. You there, Nicole?
Hello?
Yeah, we
Can
got
you guys?
you. Yeah.
So the data analytics one was really cool to just be there and see exactly what they get to do. And it's really cool to see that even if you're not like exactly in the public eye, you can still be there and helping out the organization in great ways to show them what they can do better and how to maximize profits.
Very, very cool. Do you like math? Was that why you were kind of initially intrigued in that one?
Yes.
Cool. Yeah, there's a lot of opportunities existing now, and honestly, Nicole, there's going to be even more opportunities in the future. So if you're really interested in that, I think there's a lot of opportunity for you. So that's really, really great to hear. Well, thank you for sharing. Really appreciate it, and hopefully you're going to stay in touch with us. We're going to have an email to follow, but we're going to have the Rising Pros program, so we'd love to have you involved in that.
All right. I hope to see.
Awesome. Thank you, Nicole. Who else wants to share? That's awesome, Nicole. Thanks. Don't all get shy. I know you guys aren't that shy. Oh, look at Jocelyn coming up.
Hi.
Hey, Jocelyn, how are you?
Good. Thank you. How are you?
Doing great. Thank you. We're excited to chat with you.
Good. Well, I first want to say thank you so much for hosting these camps. I think it's really unique, the opportunities this really gives students, and I've never really heard of something like this before. So first I want to say thank you, and I really admire you guys willing to do something like this. So
Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. You're worth it. That's why we want to do it.
yes. So I also want to say I think I really learned the importance of networking, especially at a young age and as I grow in life and in my career. So I really think it's important. Well, I learned the importance of kind of building a community for yourself, but also for the purpose to uplift others and help them get to where they want to be. So I think that's something really essential that I took away from this. And I just wanted to share that came across for me. So
That's awesome. Do you feel more confident about networking, or at least more equipped?
yes, definitely. I kind of consider myself more introverted and kind of a shy person, but I think just with the thought that they're just here to talk to us and hear what we want to say, I think that really just gave me a boosted confidence level and just allowed me to just say what I want to say and find out what I wanted to learn. So definitely.
That's really great, Jocelyn. And I think even some of our presenters talked about how they're kind of naturally introverted,
Mm-hmm.
but they kind of had to work through that. And I mean, there's everyone talks about that fake it till you make it stuff, but part of that is kind of true.
Mm-hmm.
Lana and I talk about this a lot. Part of being an adult sometimes is doing stuff that you don't want to do.
Yeah.
Almost all of being adult. And I think networking, I don't know, for some people is definitely that. Lana, how do you, I know you had a similar journey as Jocelyn as far as being introverted and not wanting to network and stuff like that.
No, absolutely. That's something I'm still kind of working through and trying to find, a bit more confidence in doing that. But this is the fact that you're taking the steps now and already feeling, better about it. I'm really happy for you. And it does get easier with more practice, so there's hope. Just keep up the great work, though.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for sharing, Jocelyn. So yeah, same thing I told Nicole. We'd love to stay in touch with you. We've got another program. We're gonna have more events like this, so we're not going away.
Perfect.
And keep at it with the reps. If there's anything we can ever do to help, please let us know.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Jocelyn. Look at Lana getting all excited. Oh, Avery. Hi, Avery.
I just want to say thank you for doing all this. I had a really good time, and I think one thing that I learned about, I didn't attend the session, but just watching the Chalk Talks was esports. I thought it was really cool because I didn't really know that much about it, but it was interesting to see how it kind of connected with specific teams and organizations along with gaming and stuff like that.
That's awesome. Do you game, Avery?
No, I don't. So it was something that I didn't really know that much about. So I thought it was really cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, look at you stepping out of your comfort zone a little bit. I assume you're a baseball fan because you've got the Red Sox crowd behind you.
Yes.
Yeah, esports is one of those things I think we talk about a lot. Old people like me don't really understand how it could be a sport. But it's got the same fundamentals as so many other sports. And there's tickets, there's events, there's sponsorship, there's teams, there's broadcasting deals. So I'm glad to hear that you said that, because I think that's a lot. Like that's like a natural fit, I think, for a lot of our students that are gamers that do play video games. And like old people like me would want to hire young people like you because you're closer to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, thanks for sharing. And yeah, it was great to have you involved. You were super involved throughout the whole process, like everyone else. So really excited to have you, and hopefully you'll stay with us too.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Avery. Look at how happy Lana is. She's just grinning ear to ear. Look how happy you guys make Lana. Anyone else? Come on, we can't stop making Lana happy. Oh, Samuel.
Hi.
What's
Can
up,
you
man?
Yeah, I'm doing great.
Good to see you, buddy.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for hosting this event. I think that's
Yeah,
like
man.
the main thing that I wanted to say. My favorite part was definitely learning about the team operations and getting really deeper into that. I think I kind of share with you,
Yeah.
especially for baseball, and I want to be part of the front office side and the operations side. And really attending those sessions and having a one-on-one talk with those professionals, even after the sessions, like their LinkedIn and stuff, that really helped me out a lot. And the main part that I wanted to experience, and I wanted to challenge myself, was like legal side, like those agent side. I was always interested in those, but I never known what's like this aspects out there. So it was really nice exploring those sides too.
That's awesome, man. Thanks so much for sharing. What was there like a theme that you learned from talking to the folks in operations or talking to the folks in legal side?
Yeah, honestly, like there's always like that one word that kind of lingered, no matter what what side I'm talking to. They all talked about like the importance of communications and really reaching out to people that really you want to talk to you about, and that can make the difference. Really reaching out to them and asking them what's out there, and really just talking about what are my ideals and what are their ideals, and how we kind of reach that together and stuff.
That's awesome. And kudos to you, Samuel. Just for everyone else, Samuel sent me an email actually wanting to talk more about baseball stuff. And I haven't gotten back to him, not because I don't like him. He's a heck of a great guy.
Yeah,
We were just busy with like the events.
I was kind of busy, so.
But I guess like I'm saying that as a kudos to you, Samuel. Like that's you like learned that was important. You took the step forward to attend this event, and then you actually followed through and sent that email. So I'm going to get back to you, and we're going to help you out. But I just think kudos to you for going for it.
Yeah, I'll still be waiting. I'll still be waiting. Don't leave me hanging.
I won't. I promise I won't leave you hanging. There's everyone here to hold me accountable. I promise. I won't leave you hanging, buddy.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Sam. I really appreciate it.
How do you leave the stage?
Lana, your heart looks full.
It is very full right now.
What's up, Ram? Ram's a familiar face.
Sorry.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Doing well. It's good to see you, man.
Thank you. The biggest thing I took from this camp was like all the advice about how to actually break into the industry and going after like every volunteering opportunity you see. I think that's really helpful, and I think that's something I can use in my future. And also, I said this in the chat. I think it disappeared, but Lana does look exactly like Pam from The Office.
You just made her day.
That is literally the best compliment I've ever received in my entire life, because I am a huge fan of The Office, like super obsessed. So thank you. That really just, I don't want to
Maybe
cry.
she secretly did play Pam, and now she's going under a fake name.
Can't tell all my secrets, man.
Ram, it's like not even exaggeration, man. Like she's obsessed with The Office. I basically put Office gifs in our presentations, which you'll see today, to make Lana smile. Even like when she was a student at her school, she had like Office stickers all over her laptop. So you really did make her day. You know how to pump her up. Ram, can I ask you a question? Because you had a couple really good questions throughout the session, and I think you attended last year, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you noticed that we did something different. We really focused on college prep.
Mm-hmm.
Was that helpful? And do you feel like you got a lot of information with that?
It's definitely like last year it was really helpful to be like forward looking and looking at our lives post college, but college is a lot closer for most of us. And it was really helpful this year to be prepared for what's coming, in the near future.
It's really good to hear. I think that's what we want to we want to focus on. And you asked really good questions about which schools to apply for and stretch schools and stuff like that. And I think to be totally candid, Ram, and like for all the students, like we care about you all. If you don't work in sports, like we don't. I mean, I care, but I don't really care. I just want Ram to have a successful career and a satisfying career, and make the right college decision for him financially and otherwise. So, I think that's why we try to make it a little more general about just like college is a big step, and knowing how confusing it can be. To have perspectives to help you with that is really important. So I'm really glad to hear that. We care about Ram, and if Ram still goes on to work in sports and run a sports team, that's awesome. But we just want Ram to have a satisfying career, and college is a big part of that. So I'm glad you said that.
The session was helpful, and I guarantee every other kid can say.
It's a guarantee.
Guarantee.
And Ram, are you going to join us in person?
I can't. My family's going out of town.
All right, we're going to have more stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so don't sweat.
I'll be here next year. I have 4 years of high school to go. So.
And we're going to have more stuff in person too, buddy. So we'll see you in person.
I'll see you too. Bye.
Thanks so much, Ram. Lana, wow, Pam.
I know. Like, I guess I can just, retire now because that's all I needed in life.
No, we can't give Ram just money because he said you look like Pam. Like he had to have also done the challenges.
Listen, the points have been finalized since yesterday. Like,
anyone else? Did you tell him to say that?
no, I didn't. So that just makes it even better.
Do you think you look like Pam?
Maybe more like personality. I don't really have the.
Maybe
hair.
you've been watching so much that you start to like dress like her and act like
just
her.
Like morph, yeah, morph into her. Don't be shy, guys. We want to hear your thoughts and feedbacks.
Yeah, and we'll be sending a survey too for those of you that don't want to share in this forum. But if there's 1 or 2 more comments, that'd be great. And if not, that's okay too. She does. Avery's backing it up. Okay. Well, I'll keep it moving. But thanks again for everyone for sharing. And we mean what we said. We want to be here to support you all. So that doesn't stop at this event. Lana, you can see my screen?
Yep.
Cool. So we kind of went through these questions. I didn't even have to put up the cues because you guys are already over it. One question was like, what advice would you share with a friend? Feel free to drop it in the chat if you'd like, as far as like, hey, I learned this about working in sports, and what would you tell a friend? I think that could be really helpful too. So we've got the award ceremony, which we're going to talk about here in a second. Congratulations to these 5 students, each of whom were in the top 5 of our Body Armor leaderboard. So congratulations to Avery, Brooke, Isabella, Kyran, and Lainey. You all are going to receive a $500 scholarship courtesy of Sports Biz Cares and our generous donors. I think everyone deserves a boom, whatever. Like, yeah, give us some love. Kudos to you all. Lana, I think each of those students did 26 challenges, correct?
Yep, all of them. Every single challenge that we assigned. They went above and beyond for some points, man.
Yeah. So that's amazing. All congratulations to you all for that effort. And we'll be in touch immediately after to get your information so we can send you all those checks. But kudos to you all. We'll probably also be in touch to ask if we could chat with you and get some just thoughts in writing about your experience with the organization as well. So Lana will be in touch. I'm sorry, Pam Beasley / Helper will be in touch regarding that. So kudos to you all. Thank you so much for your efforts there. Then we've got additional winners. So we're rewarding our top 30 participants. So those are our top 5. The next 5 individuals will get $200. So that's Joshua, Matthew, Drew, Desmond, and Mike. Let's pump the applause emojis for them as well. Really excited for you all, and thanks again for your efforts. then last but not least, these individuals are in our top 30, and they'll be receiving $75 each. So Lana will be in touch with each of you related to where you finished on the leaderboard, and then we'll get you that money. So kudos to everyone that's on here. I see Samuel's name, Jackson, Jaden, Ram is on here, Ian's on here. So a lot of the folks that are joining us today are going to get paid. So congratulations. So, in closing, one more thing. It's actually a couple more things. We care about you. We're not going to pass up the opportunity to try and teach you one more thing before we go. So, as you start to think about your career, both academic and professional, there's a couple things that I want you guys to remember. Yeah, there's a couple words or frames or themes to think about. And one of those is grit. So Lana is a former student of mine. She had to read this book when we were in school. A lot of my students had to read this book. Does anybody know what grit is? You can drop in the chat if you like. And if you don't, it's a good thing they're watching this video. Yeah, Angela Duckworth, she's the author. Boom. Well, Lana, how would you define grit?
Oh, gosh, take me back to class, Stack. For me, grit is at the end of the day just about perseverance, not really giving up. But yeah, I'll leave it at that for now.
So grit, according to Angela Duckworth, is passion plus perseverance equals success. So passion is you care about something very deeply, like maybe working in sports, playing sports, whatever. Perseverance is you stick to that thing for a really long time. The people that find what they're really into and stick with it for a really long time, they have success. So we're going to watch a short video from Angela about what grit entails and how that ends up being more important than how smart you are or how your IQ is, right? It's about the people that can stick to things that they really, really care about. And when we think about your journey here, that's important for us, right? You guys have taken the first step towards something you think you care about. Lana, can you see the screen?
Yes.
27 years old. I left a very demanding job in management consulting for a job that was even more demanding, teaching. I went to teach 7th graders math in the New York City public schools. And like any teacher, I made quizzes and tests. I gave out homework assignments. When the work came back, I calculated grades. What struck me was that IQ was not the only difference between my best and my worst students. Some of my strongest performers did not have stratospheric IQ scores. Some of my smartest kids weren't doing so well. And that got me thinking. The kinds of things you need to learn in 7th grade math, sure, they're hard. Ratios, decimals, the area of a parallelogram. But these concepts are not impossible. And I was firmly convinced that every one of my students could learn the material if they worked hard and long enough. After several more years of teaching, I came to the conclusion that what we need in education is a much better understanding of students and learning from a motivational perspective, from a psychological perspective. In education, the one thing we know how to measure best is IQ. But what if doing well in school and in life depends on much more than your ability to learn quickly and easily? So I left the classroom and I went to graduate school to become a psychologist. I started studying kids and adults in all kinds of super challenging settings. And in every study, my question was, who is successful here and why? My research team and I went to West Point Military Academy. We tried to predict which cadets would stay in military training and which would drop out. We went to the National Spelling Bee and tried to predict which children would advance farthest in competition. We studied rookie teachers working in really tough neighborhoods, asking which teachers are still going to be here in teaching by the end of the school year. And of those, who will be the most effective at improving learning outcomes for their students? We partnered with private companies asking, which of these salespeople is going to keep their jobs? And who's going to earn the most money? In all those very different contexts, one characteristic emerged as a significant predictor of success. And it wasn't social intelligence, it wasn't good looks, physical health, and it wasn't IQ. It was grit. Grit is passion and perseverance for very long-term goals. Grit is having stamina. Grit is sticking with your future, day in, day out, not just for the week, not just for the month, but for years, and working really hard to make that future a reality. Grit is living life like it's a marathon, not a sprint. A few years ago, I started studying grit in the
So, as I mentioned before, we want you all to have success in sports or otherwise. And the people that are most successful are the ones that can stick to long-term goals and work at it every single day and push through challenging obstacles and stay on it and stay focused. That's what it's about. It's not about how much money you have or how attractive you are, or where you go to school, or how smart you are. It's about the people that stick to it. I don't know anyone that's had any success in their roles that doesn't work really hard. Okay? So that's what's grit is, and that's what's important for us, right? And that's why I wanted to introduce it there. There's another part of grit that I think is really important too, and it's this concept of what we call a growth mindset. So a growth mindset is thinking that you control what your ability is to learn, how to grow, how to get better, right? So looking at failure as an opportunity to grow, or adversity as an opportunity to grow, not as a fixed mindset of I'm not good at this, I'm not good at that. So once you guys have that growth mindset, going back to some of the feedback you all shared, like I didn't realize that I could do that, or I didn't realize I could do this. That's you growing in mindset. So we want you to adopt it that, right? We want you to have grit. We want you to realize that you can go do things. And those things are going to be hard, but you can push through it. Another term that's kind of related to that I want you guys to think about is this concept of called Kaizen. So it comes from Japanese, and it's actually in the book Grit as well, but it's this concept of continual self-improvement, that the way that you get better at anything isn't by doing it one day and not coming back to it until 3 weeks later, and then all of a sudden you're better. It's every single day, small gains, small gains, small gains. And if you do that every single day, your small gains become really big gains, right? So Kaizen literally translates to good change. So you should always be changing. You should always be improving on a day in, day out basis. We're going to watch this short video about what that means and going through some of the failures related to that. And this specific video is for adults, how to find work and do work you love. We're going to kind of find our own snippet, but I think a lot of what you guys heard probably through the week is that adults, even not even just students, are still trying to figure out what they're going to do with their lives, right?
People don't do things. One is because they tell themselves they can't do them, or the other is people around them tell them they can't do them. Either way, we start to believe it. Either we give up or we never start in the first place. The thing is, everything wasn't possible until somebody did it. Every invention, every new thing in the world, people thought were crazy at first. Roger Bannister in the 4-minute mile, it was a physical impossibility to break the 4-minute mile in a foot race until Roger Bannister stood up and did it. And then what happened? 2 months later, like 16 people broke the 4-minute mile. The things that we have in our head that we think are impossible, often just milestones waiting to be accomplished, and we can push those limits a bit. And I think this starts with probably your physical body and physical fitness more than anything, is we can control that. You know, if you show yourself, you don't think you can run a mile, you show yourself you can run a mile or two, or even like a marathon, or lose 5 pounds, whatever it is, you realize that can be transferred, that confidence compounds, can be transferred into the rest of your world. And I've actually gotten into the habit of this a little bit with my friends. We had this little group, we kind of go on physical adventures, and recently I found myself in a kind of a precarious spot. I'm terrified of deep, dark blue water. I don't know if anyone's ever had that same fear since they watched Jaws 1, 2, 3, and 4, like 6 times when I was a kid. But anything above here, if it's murky, I can already feel it, like right now. I swear there's something in there. Even if it's Lake Tahoe, it's freshwater. Totally unfounded fear, ridiculous, but it's there. Anyway, 3 years ago, I find myself on this tugboat right down here in the San Francisco Bay. It's a rainy, stormy, windy day, and people are getting sick on the boat, and I'm sitting there wearing a wetsuit, and I'm looking out the window in pure terror, and thinking I'm about to swim to my death. I'm going to try and swim across the Golden Gate. And my guess is some people in this room might have done that before. And I'm sitting there, and my buddy Jonathan would talk me into it. He comes up to me, and he could see the state I was in. He comes up and says, Scott, hey man, he's like, what's the worst that can happen? He's like, you're wearing a wetsuit, you're not going to sink. He's like, and if you can't make it, just hop on one of the 20 kayaks. Plus, if there's a shark attack, why are they going to pick you over the 80 people that are in the water? So thanks, that helps. He's like, no, but really, just have fun with this. He's like, good luck. And he dives in, swims off. I'm like, okay. It turns out the pep talk totally worked. I just felt this total feeling of calm. And I think it was because Jonathan was 13 years old. And of the 80 people swimming that day, 65 of them were between the ages of 9 and 13. Think for a second how you would have approached your world differently. At 9 years old, you found out you could swim 1.5 miles in 56-degree water from Alcatraz to San Francisco. What would you have said yes to? What would you have not given up on? What would you have tried? As I'm finishing the swim, I get to Aquatic Park, and I'm getting out of the water, and of course, half the kids already finished. So they're cheering me on, and they're all excited. And I got total popsicle head if anyone's ever swam in the bay. And I'm trying to just thaw my face out. I'm watching people finish. And I see this one kid, something didn't look right. He's just flailing like this. And he's barely able to sip some air before he slams his head back down. And I noticed other parents were watching too. And I swear they were thinking the same thing I was. This is why you don't let 9-year-olds swim from Alcatraz. And I mean, this was not fatigue. All of a sudden, two parents run up, they grab him, and they put him on their shoulders, and they're dragging him. He's just dragging like this. And I mean, totally limp. And then all of a sudden, they walk a few more feet, and they plop him down in his wheelchair. And he puts his fists up in the most insane show of victory I've ever seen. I could still feel the warmth and the energy on this guy when he made this accomplishment. Because I had seen him earlier that day in his wheelchair. I just had no idea he was going to swim. I mean, where is he going to be in 20 years? How many people told him he couldn't do that he would die if he tried that? You prove people wrong, you prove yourself wrong, then you can make these little incremental pushes of what you believe is possible for yourself. You don't have to be the fastest marathon in the world, just your own impossibilities to accomplish those. And it starts with little bitty steps. And the best way to do this is to surround yourself with passionate people. The fastest way to do things you don't think can be done is to surround yourself with people already doing that. There's this quote by
So think about your experience with us, right? It's a first couple steps, right? And you're doing it with really passionate people. If for nothing else, hopefully you know that Lana and myself are passionate about what we're doing, and we're passionate about helping you guys. And that the people that came here and volunteered to talk to you are passionate about their industry and passionate about supporting you. And the other students who are here are passionate about learning and passionate about taking steps forward, right? So you're already in good company. You've already taken good steps. Don't have fear. Like going back to some of the comments that we talked about, like, well, the network, Jocelyn was talking about networking was challenging. Like that, maybe for Jocelyn, networking was like getting into deep blue murky water like Scott, but Jocelyn did it and she took steps forward and now she feels better about it. So you guys are all so young and you have so much opportunity for you. Don't be fearful. Don't sit around and wait for something bad to happen. Jump in and give it a chance, because as you get older, it doesn't get any easier, right? But if you make a habit out of pushing yourself and trying new things, all of a sudden that habit becomes your normal, becomes your personality, becomes your future. Okay. So we're going to continue to be here to help you take those steps, but you will have to keep on stepping. So we've talked grit, we've talked Kaizen. Life is complex, guys, right? Life has its challenges, but like when I think about this, it kind of simplifies, like, just keep swimming, right? Just keep taking steps forward. Don't overthink it. And the more that you do that, the more progress you're going to make, okay? So grit, passion, perseverance, Kaizen, small incremental gains every day. And when challenges arise or when you're struggling, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming. We're going to help you keep swimming. So the Rising Pro Certification Program, Lana is going to drop the Google form in the chat. We'll also send you guys afterwards. So as a reminder, that's like an 8-week program happening over the fall where you'll get to work with other students under the supervision of industry professionals on a consulting project. And we're working on our partner that we're going to do the consulting project for now, but it's a great opportunity for you to continue learning, growing, networking, and taking steps forward. In closing, I'm just super proud of all of you. It's really great to see everyone come back. I'm super proud of Lana. I'm just so super proud of our team for putting this amazing event together. Just really, really proud of all of you for taking the steps forward. So thank you for doing that, and know that brings us a lot of joy. And most importantly, we'll see you soon. This is not the last interaction. This might be the first interaction for many of you, but this is not the last. So whether that's reaching out to me like you did, like Samuel did, and sending us a note, please do. Whether it's staying involved in programs, please do. Please stay in touch. We don't want to not see you guys again. This is the first of hopefully many steps we're going to take together. And always, please stay connected to us via social media. If you don't already follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube, do it. More content coming. And obviously be on the lookout for emails from us as well. Lana, anything you want to add before we say goodbye?
Just thank you guys so much for taking a chance on us and joining. I know we're still kind of new to, thank you, Kenya. We're still kind of new to everybody, but please stay in touch. Please follow us on Instagram. I am going to shamelessly plug us. Like, please, we want to stay engaged. So thank you for everything, and please stay in touch. I'm serious. Like, any way we can help you guys, we are here.
All right, well, everyone, thank you again so much. We will see you again soon. That is officially a wrap on the 2021 Career Exploration Camp presented by Body Armor. And once again, Lana, I can't thank you enough for all of your amazing work. She has to grade all those Ascend challenges that you guys are doing. That's a lot of work. So thank you, Lana. Thank you to co-founders Jeff and Sam. Thank you to our board for your leadership and support. And obviously, thank you to all of our donors and sponsors. Could not do it without you all fully funding this opportunity for our students. So thank you again, everyone. We will see you soon. Bye, Pam.